There's no doubt about it.
Explain to us how you know.
There's no other reason for them to attack me at this juncture in my history. SCLC and being the leader of the Georgia Association of Black Elected Officials, there's no other reason. And you can just look at Roy Bourne's statement itself and see that we have been in their face. We've been very bold about it. We've been very critical of them. As Dr. King had his clashes with J. Edgar Hoover, the director of the FBI, throughout Dr. King's life, and Dr. King would say, we'll never get justice for all of these civil rights workers who have been murdered in the South as long as you use agents from the South to investigate these deaths, because they're part of the problem. They're part of the good old boy system. And we say to members of Congress, maybe you should appoint a special prosecutor investigator to ride herd over all of these old cases in the South. Because obviously, the people in this area, particularly in Georgia, they have a problem with our work. And they get offended that we say to them, you ought to go out and get these Klansmen. You ought to arrest them. Why haven't you done it? You're part of the cover-up. And yes, we believe that sincerely. There's no other reason.
Mr. Brooks, when you look at claims that you solicited $1 million in contributions for programs to fight illiteracy, they said a little of that money went to actually fund those programs, and you spent the money on yourself and on your family. Did you spend that money and just fight illiteracy on your
I referred you to Governor Roy Bourne's statement. That's why I gave it to you earlier. Any other questions?
Representative Brooks, why would the government choose to go after you now? Why this money?
I think because Robert Howard and I have been, along with others, interviewing witnesses. We had a witness to come to us on April 6th at First African Baptist Church, a white man who lives here. We had Benjamin Todd Jellis here to lead our march. And this gentleman came and talked to us for 2 hours. We videoed it. Then Jellis took the video back to Washington, sent a copy over to Attorney General Eric Holder, and requested that they appoint someone in D.C. to work with us because we're having problems with the people down here. Now, this gentleman who gave us 2 hours of interview, he talked about his family's role in the massacre on this bridge. He called out an uncle who told him that he was a part of the lynch mob. Now, he's not the first one. We've interviewed others who have come to us and given us information and talked about the family's involvement. We had a law enforcement officer just a few years ago go to the Walton Tribune in downtown Monroe and talk about his family's involvement in the massacre. The Walton Tribune at that time had another publishing editor, and they printed this young man's story. There's been so much evidence, so much information for the law enforcement community, particularly the federal agents, to go after these suspects. It's just absolutely insulting that they won't do it. And so we're going to continue to say that.
So are you saying that the feds pulled the trigger because of your meeting on April 6th with this witness?
I think I began to hear things about a year ago because, see, we've been interviewing witnesses for some time, not just April 6th. Robert and I have had many, many meetings with many persons across this county, black and white. Mr. Roy Jackson was 1999, a black man